So this is a story on how I bought my favorite truck. Bar in there, you never know when you might be a BFC, a big freaking crowbar. My towing truck, power, Cummins power. That was loud. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Weston. How are you guys doing today? Today I'm going to tell you the story about one of my favorite trucks I've ever bought. And that's Clifford, the big red truck. Now Clifford's made a couple guest appearances on the episodes as of late, but he should be the star of the show because without him, the show would not go on. I got a couple errands to run. I'm going to take you guys with me and tell you the story on how I bought this truck. It was kind of an interesting story that you guys might like to hear. And afterwards, I'm going to do a tour of the bed and the air compressor and all the stuff I got on my service body on the back. Anyway, we're going to run. Basically, I have been looking for a 1-ton dually with a service body on it that I could pull my gooseneck with because I've got post-traumatic breakdown disorder. I've broken down so much, I want to have every tool I would ever need alongside the road. So I had everything stuffed into boxes and stuff in the back end of my 3/4 ton pickup, and it was just all disorganized. Anyway, and you know, it wouldn't really matter if it was a Dodge or a Chevy or a Ford, you know, as long as it was a diesel, it wouldn't really matter to me. I'm kind of partial to Dodges, and the reason for that is because I can work on them easy. They're pretty simple motors. I'm really familiar with the Cummins engine and everything to do with the Dodge because I had a Dodge beforehand. But that being said, after 2 or 3 weeks of me looking for a truck, we went to an auction. And on the back row of the auction was a 2012 Ram. On the back row of the auction was a 2012 Ram 3500, 1-ton dually, 4-wheel drive, and it said on the window, needs injectors. Alright, whatever. Which was this truck here. And I go back there and I'm looking around and taking mine. This bed, to put this bed on, is close to $6,000. It's got a $1,200 grill guard on it. The truck was deleted, so, you know, at the time, that would have probably cost about $2,500. Like, dang, this truck has got a lot of add-ons on it. And take in mind, it was only 3 years old. Somebody had paid close to $55,000 for the truck 3 years ago. And, like, dang, I don't got enough money to buy this truck. This thing is not, dang. I reach in there and I fire it up, and it sounds bad. I mean, it's not running right at all. It's running down on 2 or 3 cylinders. It's blowing white smoke and blue smoke everywhere. Anyway, auction comes around and I get down there and I get a high bid on it of $11,000. Now, $11,000, take in mind, that is like buying a 2015 rigged up exactly the same way this truck is today for $11,000, because, you know, I bought this 3 years ago. Take in mind, the truck only had 190,000 miles on it. So incredibly miley. It wasn't in terrible shape. There was a little bit of clear coat coming off the hood and stuff like that, but it was in just small places at the time. It wasn't nothing major, but it did sound terrible. Anyway, I got it bought, and I got 2 other trucks on the back row bought, and I had a trailer with me, and I had my brother and another family member with me to drive 2 of them, and I could haul one. And it was definite that I couldn't drive the other one I had. So I had to make this truck drive the 450 or 500 miles home. It had to do it, or I had to make the truck all the way home and come back and get it. Or, you know, fire that thing up, drive it over there to the O'Reilly's, and we'll see what we can do to it. And he drives over there, and it just sounds dog awful. I mean, it's blowing smoke everywhere. It just, I felt so sorry for this whole pickup. And pulled in there, we pulled the fuel filter out of it. The fuel filter looked terrible. Pre-filled the filter with tranny fluid and put a new filter on it. Fired it up, drove it about 10 miles. And every mile she got to running a little better and a little better and a little better. And that's been 3 years ago. And I haven't done a single thing to the motor besides change the oil and change the fuel filters every time it needs it. I mean, besides that, I put a water pump on it. But that's the story on how I bought this truck. And take in mind, that is one of the cheapest I've ever seen around, and that's not even including that this truck had 190,000 miles. It had a $5,000 bed on it. It had a $1,200 grill guard on it, and it's got a 5-inch turbo back exhaust on it. You know, it was set up exactly how I wanted it, exactly in every way. So This is a story on how I bought my favorite truck. One of my favorite trucks. My towing truck. Power! Cummins power! Anyway, we got back up here to the farm. The weather didn't hold out for us. It started raining on us, but bear with us. That's why we got boxes to keep everything dry. Anyway, for you guys that's been waiting for the tour of the bed, this is your time. I've been looking around and nobody really does a tour of their service bodies, which is, I always like to see how everybody else has their things set up to see if I like any of their ideas better than I do like mine. So if there's anything you like here, you're more than welcome to copy it. I'm not going to say there's any good ideas here, but there might be some ideas. Right up here, this is my front toolbox. Now this bed here, what I love about this bed is it's kind of utility body box. It's got these two front boxes on both sides, these two long boxes on both sides, and two lower toolboxes on both sides. And the advantage is I can still pull my gooseneck, I can still set things in there, I can still set all kinds of stuff on top here, and I can still reach over the side, hook on my gooseneck and all that. I love this bed so much. This here is kind of my parts and oil place. I kind of throw all my stuff that I need to grab to quick. I've got brake clean down here. I've got goop pan cleaner, starting fluid, just all the oils and stuff you might need. This is kind of my go bag. It's got electric impacts in there, bale and wire, zip ties, duct tape, electrical tape, all that good stuff. All the stuff you need for redneck fixes along the road. Jumper cables. We got a crowbar in there. You never know when you might be a BFC, a big freaking crowbar. I got a pair of bolt cutters back there for when your old lady locks you out. Got a fuel filter for the truck in case I clog one up alongside the road, you know. And if anybody's ever seen one of these Cummins fuel filters, they're kind of weird. They're a cartridge filter, but that's what they look like. I just keep that in there. You never know when you need a fuel filter. It's never a bad idea to keep one with you along the road. That's about it for that drawer. There ain't nothing else in there. That's just kind of a cart I had. I need to take the wheels off of it. It still kind of rolls around a little bit, but... Oh yeah, one nice thing about my go bag here is I can sit here and I can just grab it, and I got, you know, electric impacts. I've got stuff to fix wires. I've got snippers, wire strippers, duct tape, zip ties, baling wire, you know, everything you need to fix anything alongside the road. This bag can pretty much do it, and you can just grab it and go. I got funnels back here. The more I look, the more stuff I find I actually got in there. Got some rags stuffed on the second drawer down there. Got some antifreeze, got some diesel oil. Just all that stuff I might need out along the road. Over here's kind of one of my my toolboxes. I got my 1/2 inch air hose in here with my 3/4 inch big air impact. Now I actually take, this is a different story for another time maybe, but this air impact right here, I bought at a pawn shop, and this is like a $650 impact, and I think I gave $100 for it, $75 for it or something like that. And I need to put quick connects on this hose, but to be truthful, this hose don't get used for nothing besides this impact, so I just leave the impact permanently screwed onto it. These are lights that need to be installed in the bed. Don't worry about them. I've got some lights to go. Just, you can never have too many lights when you're working out on the road. So I got a couple under hood light and a light I can lay on the ground when I'm working on stuff. I've got a serpentine belt tool. You know, you always break belts out along the road, and this really does make your life a lot easier when you're trying to put them back on. I got sockets. I got impact sockets. I got a phone call from Beyonce, I think. Got some sockets in here. That's pretty nice. I can just put whatever I want to in there and grab it and go. Got some C-clamps, hammers, chisels. Put all my stuff back up in here. Got a 1/2 inch deep wells and shallows. Hacksaw, obviously. Some wiring loom. Air impact, drill, Zawzaw. Little torch for soldering stuff together, gloves. Got all my ratchets and stuff down in there, and kind of got all these little,
yeah, we built all these
little subdividers. Here, I'll take this. Built all these little subdividers, kind of whole things. I got butane there, a drill bit. Let's see, got some snap clips, some self-tapping screws, a rag, all kinds of good stuff. But I just put all of them you know, everything's kind of in there where I know where it is. I also kind of got my cheater bar, which is an old jack handle I had that is just stuck up there with a magnet. That's just a magnet that comes down. Maybe if I can pull it off there, but it stays up there, does what it's supposed to. And that all locks and everything. Then I got this box down here. It's got my air-powered bottle jack in it, and a, excuse me, that one there's got my air-powered bottle jack in it, and then I've got another bottle jack back in there. When you're towing big loads and have a big trailer on behind you, a lot of times a floor jack won't lift up them heavy trailers. Let me shut this real quick. And bottle jack's a lot handier to have, especially the air-powered ones. Where I've got an air compressor on here, air-powered is the only way to go. Now this side here, I hold all of my tie downs. You want to hold this and I'll open this. I hold all my tie downs, my chains, boomers. They're kind of thrown in here, kind of strewn about because we just got back from a trip. I've got an extra hitch in here. I've got a floor jack in here in case I need it for changing tires. Let me take this. So just basically all the stuff I need. J-hooks. I got a come along in there, just some basic stuff. Nothing really too special there. And then on this side, I've got, and I love these Flexel hoses. Them things are awesome, but this is a 3/8 hose. Got my air chuck on there. Some extra air fittings, some extra parts, impact case. I got a first aid kit underneath there. I got a fire extinguisher on the other side. I didn't show that to you, but got just some basic stuff here, some screwdrivers. I got a screwdriver set on the other side as well. Pliers, crowbars, crow's feet, magnet. Get down, I got, let's see, ratchet wrenches, metric and standard. And I think these are all empty down here. I just put this toolbox in there, and it's all I could find to fit in there quite right now. And anyway, guys, I think this is going to wrap up the video. I kind of giving you a tour of what's on this bed and what I kind of like about it. Now, she's probably not going to stay this way. When summertime comes around, we get a little bit better weather. My plan is to paint it up and make it look nice and redo these boxes with a little bit better shelves. And I want to put a full drawer set in that side box. And if you guys got any feedback on what you think I ought to do with this bed, I love this bed more than anything. It can haul so much, but I'm kind of looking at some different ways of organizing stuff in it and just keeping things from sliding around and just how they're supposed to be and staying where they need to be. Anyway, it's Weston. Catch you tomorrow.